Greetings! Today is December 18th, 2024, and we're back with another video. And in this video, we're going to go through the top 10, my top 10, Mcfarlane DC Multiverse action figures of 2024. Now, this list was put together over some brainstorming, some timing, some putting in action figures, taking out action figures, went through a lot of action figures. We had a lot of action figures this year, and I said, man, this is going to be a tough list. Every year, it's a tough list because, when you're cranking out this much awesomeness as far as DC Multiverse, and a lot of them not awesome. Some of them are, they could be done a little bit better, and you know it. But overall, I'm glad of the plethora of action figures we got. Some fat action figures that's never got a toy line action figure before, and some reoccurring characters. But overall, I actually like the way this list came out. So this is starting off my top 10 Multiverse DC Mcfarlane action figures of 2024. And coming in at number 10 is a returning champion, in a way, in most people's figure list, is Bane. But this time, Bane comes directly from his comics. He has the art shading on him and everything. He is pretty much, in my opinion, the perfect Bane. We did get a Bane before, but McFarlane team decided to release him again in a 2-pack and give us the battle damage Batman to go with them, which I like about the art style of this, when you have the blue strips and everything. I know some people, changed it and customized it and made them all black, but I left it. I'm going to leave it that way because I think it's perfect. It's a perfect representation of Bane. And now that McFarlane is doing a lot of shading on certain characters that he's coming out with, we recently just got a brand new Batman. And the Batman that came from the Justice League Task Force, in my opinion, goes perfectly with him. If you don't want to have him battle damage and you want to have him have like the same art accents and everything, I would say this is a great Batman to go with this particular 2-pack Bane. So yeah, coming in at number 10, we have the Mega Fig 2-pack of Bane. And next up, coming in at number 9, rounding out the top 10 list of 2024, we have the Batman Superman Fusion. Now, I didn't expect to like this figure. I didn't really know about this figure, but because the design is just the design pops, right? And like when I saw it in the store, I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick that up. I was going to pick up the basic one, but then I ended up seeing the one with the translucent legs, and I'm like, you know what? That's not bad. I like the artistic expression of how this character was made. He was only in like one comic. So, you know what I'm saying? If you were not familiar with this particular character, you can find that one comic and see what happens and how Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent actually fused to form this brand new superhero. So I kind of like it. Not so much a superhero, he's actually a villain a little bit in it, because he does run through a lot of the heroes, and he's very powerful. So, you know what I'm saying? It's got that anime vibe to it. And I'm a fan of anime. I'm a fan of old school anime, though. But I like the fact that they fused these guys together and made a totally different entity. So, yeah, coming in at number 9, we have Batman Superman Fusion. Now, coming in at number 8, we have The Question. Yes, The Question. The Question was on my radar when I first saw him, and I knew he was going to be on the list because I'm a big fan of The Question. Yes, he is a detective conspiracy nut, but I love him. We love him in the Justice League Unlimited. We love him in comic books. If there was a writer to actually pick him up and actually make a whole nother new series of him, I'd definitely watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we got a whole bunch of drones and everything flying around. So I would love to know what The Question thinks about it. But overall, I like his design. Even though he does share the same body sculpt as the Dark Knight Joker, it's a perfect redesign. It's a perfect sculpt when they made this to actually just make him The Question. He comes with his yellow shirt and everything. Everything about this character I liked. He doesn't have a gun, but I gave him a gun anyway because I just really am a big fan of The Question. And we did get his girlfriend, the Huntress. So giving us both of them in the same year, I gotta say I'm very impressed on pretty much how they distributed and gave us. Obviously, all fans watch the Justice League Unlimited and know that them two go together. They're dating. So to have Huntress and to have Question in the same year, perfect. He goes on my list. Coming in at number 8, The Question. And coming in at number 7, we have Plastic Man. Yes, another detective, Plastic Man. He's actually a very, very highly skilled detective, just as much as the Question, just as much as Bruce Wayne, and he definitely made the list. You could call this list the detective list because a lot of these guys are really smart detectives, but I love how we got this guy. You know what I'm saying? He could have came as a pretty much a deluxe or a collector's edition, but they decided to make him a bath to give him extra hands, give him extra head sculpts, and it's just perfect. If you got the Chase variant, which you only needed, I think, an extra one, then you could have had the extra torso to actually make this, because you already have 2 sets of arms in the other standard pack. So yeah, you just need the legs and the arms, and then you were good to go. But overall, I'm glad we got Plastic Man. The expression on his face and everything is what made him make the list. I knew when I got him, he was already going to be a runner-up in the top 10. And yes, he served his purpose. He is in the top 10. Coming in at number 7, Plastic Man. Now, coming in at number 6, he fought and punched and zapped his way in this list. Because of the controversy behind him, I wasn't going to put him on the list because there was so much customization work he had to do to get this guy to move his legs or even to get this emblem off his chest. But we kind of knew that he was going to get re-released, which we did because he doesn't have an emblem on the new re-release with the BAF Task Force Justice League. But Darkseid made the list. He comes in at number 6. He has his wired cape. He also had an alternate head sculpt. He also had extra pairs of hands. And it came in at $40. This is a classic version of Darkseid. Darkseid was going to make it in the list. No matter what, he was going to make it in the list somehow. And I'm glad that we got him this year. This is an awesome figure that I like. Like I said, there's a lot of controversy behind him because of how people look at action figures. But for me, he graces my shelf. Goes well with my Superman. Coming in at number 6, we have Mega Fig, McFarlane DC Multiverse, Darkseid. Now, around this time of the video, you know what I'm saying, I just want to say thanks, appreciate for everyone who's watching this. We're going to run down some honorable mentions that didn't make the list, but, you know what I'm saying, given more time, I guess, with how I pose them and everything, I think they would have made the list, but you know, I didn't really have a lot of time this year because there was so many action figures and there was so many spots that, you know what I'm saying, that came out of nowhere, you know, like, but one of the runner-ups we did have was Connor Kent. I actually liked the way he came out. You know, some people didn't like the shirt, the way it's over him. They felt that he should have been a little bit muscled, and I agree. But, you know, he came in close, but not necessarily. But yeah, Connor Kent is an honorable mention. Also in the honorable mention, we have Victor Aziz. Yes, Victor Aziz. I actually like this character. You can only get it on the McFarlane store, but when you did get it, you know what I'm saying, you had a suicidal maniac running through the streets of Gotham, and I actually liked the way he came out. Didn't make the list, but yeah, honorable mention. And one of my final honorable mentions is the 2-pack of Mr. Bloom and Rookie. And not for nothing, it went on clearance. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do not know this character, but I actually read the comic and I actually like the storyline from this Batman series. But when it did go on clearance, I actually decided to jazz mine up. So what you're seeing here is a custom battle damage Rookie. All parts are sculpted by me. I actually, you know, destroyed them, make them a little bit more worn damage and everything, put the silver accents on them and everything, crushed the helmet. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. The Rookie and Mr. Bloom 2-pack is definitely an honorable mention. If you haven't gotten this one yet, I suggest you should, because it is really... Even if you haven't read the comic, you should read the comic. It's actually a pretty cool comic. I hope Mr. Bloom makes a return in the DC universe because he is a terrorizing villain. But yeah, honorable mention. So as we are winding down, coming in at number 5 is the first appearance Batman. And a lot of these figures that are in this top 10 have the wired cape going. I'm kind of growing fond of the wired cape now, and this is probably one of the best representations of using a wired cape right, especially with a classic character such as Batman. And not only that, first appearance Batman. He did have a Chase variant. I do have the Chase variant, but I actually like the way this particular character came out. It's just a great, flawlessly done figure. It really is impressive to see on your shelf. The sculpt in the head looks exactly like first appearance. Yeah, he came with an extra set of hands, and he also came with a tool. So overall, first appearance Batman made the list, coming in at number 5 on the top 10 DC Multiverse action figures of 2024. And coming in at Number 4, we have actually I would call it a wave mate of the first appearance Batman, but it's the first appearance of the Red Hood, which everyone knows is the Joker. But yeah, great figure. Love the way it came out. I'm more of a fan of the basic design rather than the Chase variant. I do have the Chase variant, but I really, really like the way this Red Hood came out. I think he goes for double now on the aftermarket, but if you can find him, I would say get him. He is definitely a top 10 worthy character of 2024. So yeah, coming in at number 4, we have first appearance Red Hood. Okay, it's getting serious. Coming in at number 3. Now, this may be controversial, but this is my list, and it's getting tougher every year for me to put this top 10 together. But coming in at number 3 may shock some people. And I'm going to say this. I bought this figure real recently, fell in love with it so much, kept posing him around and everything. We got multiple versions of this next character, okay? We got a Walmart exclusive, I think an Amazon exclusive. He has had exclusive, but he's also a staple of everyone's collection. You need him. And I wasn't going to get him because I'm like, I don't like the way that came out. I don't like the way that, but when you have it in hand, it really does tell a different story. Coming in at number 3. You ready for this? We have Task Force Superman. Yeah, I know. People are like, what? Are you kidding me? Yes. Task Force Superman has powered his way into the top 10 list. I know. It just happened. But he's such an awesome figure. Aside from the video game essence and everything, I know that a lot of people like the Walmart exclusive one. But this is the best representation of Superman to date. Yes, it is. He's in my top 3 Supermans. There's a lot of Supermans that came and went. But he has the cloth cape. He has the, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember the artist style, but he gave him the mullet, and I like the mullet. I compare him up with my Doomsday. I compare him up with any type of classic variation of Superman. We got many. But aside from all of the accents as far as the paint, I don't care. It's a perfect Superman. The sculpt is perfect. You know what I'm saying? The face to me is perfect. The wired cape and everything. He's tall. And I like it. If you don't have this character yet in your collection, or if you see him on the shelf, I would say pick him up. I bought him not once. I saw him in GameStop, but I bought him again when I saw him because it's just such a good design Superman. It really is. If they was to give us a Superman without all of that video game shading, bro, this to me is the perfect Superman. I'm telling you, the images don't really say anything. You would have to have this character in hand, but when you do, when you have this is a great Superman, and he is coming in at number 3. I'm the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse of 2024. And coming in at number 2, you knew they were coming. You knew they were coming. I actually made a video of this, and a lot of people actually like that video. Shout out to you, fellow collectors of mine, who actually like that video, because coming in at number 2, we have the Collector's Edition Green Lantern. Perfect set. I knew it was going to come in the top 10 list because there's so much versatility with this particular character. The amount of accessories you got, the different head sculpts you got, just made it the perfect figure of 2024, in my opinion. So yes, coming in at number 2, we have Green Lantern in all its glory. I really appreciate that we're getting more Green Lanterns, but I really like this set. This set definitely deserves a top 10 because of the versatility. And not only that, like I said, when you get the basic body, you can have multiple customizations with different heads to put on there, and you could just fill out your entire Green Lantern corpse. So yeah, coming in at number 2, we have Green Lantern Collector's Edition. And finally, we run down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. First of all, I want to just say shout outs to all you fellow collectors out there that collect these action figures and also watch my videos. But coming in at number 1, this was a tough battle, but this is the figure that I've pretty much been posing, taking pictures of, making edits of them, customizing them and everything. And I actually like the way this character came out. it actually rivals the original sculpt or the original design of this character. To me, it is the best representation of this character. And that is, coming in at number 1, Cyborg Superman. It's the best representation of a cyborg mixed with man. And if you know me and you know my collecting, I'm a fan of all robots and cyborgs. You know what I'm saying? All the way back to Gundam. You know, I'm a big Mobile Suit Gundam fan. But coming in at number 1, we have Cyborg Superman in all his glory. What I like about this particular character and this design was it was an April Fool's. Everyone thought it was an April Fool's joke at first. Everyone didn't believe that this figure would, that this character wouldn't come out. And when it did release, it got a standard basic release. You know what I'm saying? Single carded pack. And it was impressive. It was really impressive to see that, you know what I'm saying, the McFarlane team with that much talented scope can actually design a human being cyborg in 7-inch format. And like I said before, it really doesn't take nothing from the classic image of Cyborg Superman. You know what I'm saying? But what I do like is that it brings out the cyborg in Superman himself. He doesn't just look like a standard base Superman. He's actually his own entity. And that's why he comes in at number 1 in the top 10 McFarlane DC Multiverse action figures of 2024. And that is my review of the top 10, well, my list of the top 10 DC Multiverse action figures of 2024. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your list is. You know what I'm saying? Tell me if my list sort of reflects your list. And I'll catch you another video in the future. Peace.